Okay. Are we on? Okay. I want to thank everybody for coming and joining us on lobochat.com. LoboChat with JC Lopez. I got a special guest today. A good friend of mine that I consider a friend that I met many, many years ago through another friend named Sergio Reyes. Sergio. Anyway, I got Coach Rocky Long here. I want everybody to give it up to Coach here. Glad to have him back in Albuquerque. Coach, right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me. It's great to be back.
It's good to see you. Yeah, it's good. You know, I was just talking before we got on that. We're talking about there's a rumor that you might be coming, and we're like, you were still the coach at San Diego State. You were still there, but some rumor just started like, oh, that'd be the greatest. Oh yeah, right. You know, they talk, about, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Then when you resigned. No, you were here for the tournament, for the bowl game.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we were here for the bowl game.
That's right. I think the rumor came right after that because I guess you really had a great time here. You loved it, and you're New Mexican, So and then when it did happen, we're like, wow, Danny Gonzalez recruited the best recruit ever. That was the best recruit that he had, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's not a great recruiting job because I can't play anymore now. If I could still play, it might have been a good recruiting job.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The recruiter brings the recruiters, or the recruiter brings the recruits. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But Coach, thank you, again for coming in. Thank you for coming back to New Mexico. Because you were well loved here, and you are well loved. When you were here, people were so upset and disappointed when you left. The business, it's a business, like anything else. And when it was your time to go, you felt it was your time to go.
Yeah, I think it was a mutual agreement. I think it was time to go because both sides in the discussion decided that it was time to go. Yeah. So, yeah, it was good, but it's great to be back. I mean, my wife and I have always considered this home.
Yeah.
And we're getting a little bit older as the time goes along, and I got tired of being a head football coach, but I wanted to keep coaching.
Good for you.
And so Coach Gonzalez was nice enough to give me a chance to come back here and finish out my coaching career. And I have a lot of friends in town, so it's a great place to make our final stop.
Good for you, Coach. And being a fan, because there's a bunch of us out there that they're just like a perfect mold for us, because since the day you left, football has not – we have not, as a fan, we have not had a great 10 years, I think it is now. I don't know how many years it is, but oh my God. I felt that I was still rooting for the Dallas Cowboys. We're just having a hard time.
No, it's been a tough time, and I realize that because since I played here, wherever you played, you're always going to check, you're always going to care, you're always going to want them to do well. And so you always check on the scores, and you always check on how the team's doing. And obviously, it's not been
kind of hurt you probably reading that what it was going through too. Though. So, yeah.
If you're a Lobo at heart, it hurts. Anytime the Lobos aren't successful, it hurts.
Yeah,
I mean,
so. Since you brought about playing here, can you go back the days when you got recruited to come to New Mexico? Because you're from where? Where you grew up?
I'm from California.
You're from California.
They call it. I came from Cucamonga, but they call it Rancho Cucamonga now.
Right, before through Victoriaville and all that. Right?
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
That's where you're from. Yeah. And how did you get recruited to come to New Mexico? How did you ever hear about New Mexico?
Well, I got lucky. I really got lucky because I didn't. I played in a high school all-star game, and I was the only one in the all-star game that didn't have a scholarship, that wasn't going off to play college football someplace. In fact, I had planned to go to a junior college that was close to home, and I played in the all-star game, and there was a coach named Walt Klinker from the University of New Mexico at the all-star game.
Interesting.
And then the day after the all-star game, he gave me a phone call and came over and at that time, this was legal, by the way. He took my father and I to breakfast at the bowling alley, and asked me if I'd ever been to Albuquerque, and I told him no. And he says, "Do you want to play college football?" And I said yes. And he says, "Well, we have a scholarship for you. Can you find it?" And I said, "Yeah, I can find Albuquerque." And he says, "Okay, we start practice in 2 weeks, so we expect you to be there in 2 weeks."
And you were the quarterback? You were a quarterback coming out of high school?
Well, you played both ways, quarterback and defensive back, and it's coming out of high school. But I played quarterback in the all-star game. And then so, I don't know, about 4 or 5 days later, I hooked a ride with the guy and threw my bag in the back of his trunk and Came over 9 Mile Hill, and the first time I ever saw Albuquerque, and it was a lucky day for me, and it's worked
Changed
out
your
really
life,
well.
huh? Changed your life.
Completely
Yeah,
changed
totally,
my life.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, watching you play. You're 70 what today?
I'm 70 years old. Yes.
It's 70.
Yeah. I'm 70.
Yeah, but I remember you guys had the wishbone offense, and you were the quarterback. And I remember you, Nate McCall, Fred Hendry, and
Sam Scarborough.
And I remember being a sport reading. You guys lit the country and rushing, and that was exciting. But I remember you were like, it was back in the day.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun because we had a really good football team and had a bunch of really good guys. So it was fun to play with them, and it was fun. It's always fun to play when you win. Yeah. It's always fun.
Who was the head coach back then?
Rudy Feldman was the head coach.
Feldman was the coach.
Bill Mont, who became the head coach later, was the offense coordinator.
Was he Bill Mont? I remember the names on those names. Yeah, I'll be darned. Yeah. And when you met Coach Feldman, did you guys get along right away? I mean, because he hadn't seen you play.
No, he didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And I went out to practice the first couple times, and I thought I was going to be a quarterback, but they put me on defense, so I was a defensive back. And then I went through, in those days, freshmen could not play on the varsity. Mm-hmm. So I went through the freshman year, and then in spring practice of the freshman year, I ended up being the starting cornerback on the team. And then for some reason, our coaches decided to change the offense to the wishbone during the summer. So I got a call in the summer and was told to get back here as quick as I can because they were going to put in a new offense and they were going to move me to quarterback.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed because I was a starter at the time. And when I came back to be a quarterback, I was third string. And then, as you know, a lot of times it's luck. I was the backup quarterback when we started to play.
And who was that quarterback at the time?
I don't remember who the starter was at the time. My best friend Larry Corpus was one of the other quarterbacks, so I remember him and I competing. But we got in a game, and the starting quarterback got hurt, and I got put in, and things went well. So from then on, I was this starting quarterback.
And were you starting quarterback sophomore, junior, senior year? I know.
Well, I was a starting quarterback about halfway through my sophomore year.
Sophomore year,
and then junior and senior. Yeah,
the whole time. Yeah. So, and who put that wishbone off? Was it Mont?
Well, Bill Mont was the offense coordinator, but there was only one other team in the country running it at the time, and it was Texas A&M. And our coaches had gone to Texas A&M and learned the offense from them and came back and taught it to us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, interesting.
And then after that, everybody started running the wishbone.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. So the wishbone is that some coach designed it, and that's how it all came to be. Interesting. And why did they call it the wishbone?
Because supposedly the way the offensive backfield was lined up, which was a quarterback with a fullback right behind him and two halfbacks a little further back into the side. Supposedly that looked like a wishbone. Yeah, supposedly it did. Yeah. I don't know if it did or not, but supposedly it looked like a wishbone.
Right. When you graduated from high school, you played pro ball, didn't you? Did you go play pro a little bit?
Well, I played in the World Football League before it went bankrupt, and I played in the Canadian League for, I think, 6-7 years.
As quarterback also?
No, I was a defensive back.
Defensive back.
Yeah.
They
didn't think I threw it good enough to be the quarterback, so they put me on defense. It was actually, I enjoyed playing defense more than I ever did offense.
You like to hit, not get hit.
Well, and on offense, you have an assignment that you have to take care of. On defense, you kind of have an assignment, and then you find the guy with the ball, and then you try to go hit him. That seems like a lot more fun to me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. When back in the day when you were playing, did you always felt that you would come back to live in New Mexico? Or not? I mean, when you graduated?
Well, I didn't know. Obviously, I graduated from UNM.
Yeah.
And so, in fact, it started when the World Football League went bankrupt. And I no longer had a job, and so I came back to Albuquerque and started helping coach at some of the high schools, and then eventually I got a teaching job at El Dorado High School and coached high school football for a little while. Now I was the freshman coach. I coached the ninth graders in football and basketball for a couple of years, And then Bill Mont became the head coach at UNM and hired me as the quarterback coach.
That'll be done. See, I'm glad I have you here. You know, that's something that I didn't know. That's not interesting. That's a good story. So you were in El Dorado for a couple of years. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And did you got the bug right away to coach? You knew you were going to be a coach for the rest of your life?
Well, that was the plan. I mean,
okay,
and that's what I graduated in education with a couple majors from UNM, and so I was planning on being a teacher and a coach, my dad was a coach too, a teacher and a coach.
Okay.
So that was the plan. And then when Coach Mont called me up and offered me the quarterback job at UNM, I got lucky and got into college football. So that was good.
That's
Yeah.
nice. So that was the start of your college
Coaching career.
Coaching career. Huh? Interesting. So when you were assistant for how many years before? Then you left, right? Then they hired you back, right? I'm trying to fix my memory.
Yeah, I was an assistant here with Coach Mont and Coach Morrison. They fired Coach Mont and Coach Morrison.
Jim Morrison, right?
Yeah,
Jim, or
Joe Morrison.
Joe Morrison. There you go.
Joe Morrison came in as the head coach and kept me on, and then I started my trek. So and then I left here and went to Wyoming. I coached at TCU. I'm trying to remember them all because I coached at a bunch of different places. I coached in the Canadian Football League. I coached at Oregon State. I coached at UCLA. And then eventually I was lucky enough to get hired back here.
As a head coach, you came at the head coach. What year was that?
Ooh, I have no idea.
We're trying to think back.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1996 or 7. Yeah.
You coached for the Lobos, the head coach. How long were you head coach?
11 years.
You were 11 years with the Lobos. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, no, there was fun times, good times. You know, I remember when I first met you. I know, being a fan, but you don't know the coaches.
You can remember that far back.
I can't remember. I can't remember the exact time. I mean, I know the era at the time, but not the actual moment. But anyway, Sergio Reyes.
Yeah.
From Sergilla from West Vista Mobile Homes, right? So you guys had a program called the First Teamers. Okay. And
right.
It was the booster club for football.
Right.
And I had just got involved with the Lobo Club as an ambassador to raise money and new members into the Lobo Club. And when Sergio introduced me to come to the practice, or I think we went on a trip. He took me on a trip with you guys because he had bought 2 spots. He always had 2 spots. So I went, and I always thought the First Teamers were the Lobo Club, but they weren't. It was a whole different entity of the athletic department. It was just for football, So that was kind of a shock to me. So I started recruiting all your guys to go to the Lobo Club. So that was fun. But it had so much fun, and you were so down to earth, Coach. I mean, I go, man, you're the guy, But yet you were good. I mean, you were happy-go-lucky. You treated everybody the same, and I really appreciated that because I remember that. See, so.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
And I mean, the first team is basically part of the Lobo Club.
Yeah.
But it specializes with the football program.
Yeah. Well, now they're all members of the Lobo Club. Whoever becomes, they changed it. So it's good. It's all good. But
that's the way it should be.
Yeah. But the majority of the money goes to the football program, dropping kids and stuff like that. Yeah. So no, but I remember Sergio, going in the bus trips and stuff. We had a good time. So.
We had a good time with you guys too. It's a little different than coaching and being around players all the time. The young men that you're trying to mentor and coach them in other things besides football, but which is a great life experience and a great career. But when we hung out with you guys, we could be just us and have a good time.
Yeah, I got to know Coach Lenz during that time too, man. He's a great coach. I'm glad to have him back too. So I go, Danny did a good job, man. Once they hired Danny back, it was good. It was like I didn't really get to know Danny back then. He just started, and then I just got on. Then I think he left, and I think he left to another college, I think, and then.
Well, he actually came when I became the head coach of San Diego State. He came out and coached for us at San Diego State, and I was there for 11 years. So he was there for 7 or 8 before he became the defensive coordinator at Arizona State. And he is a great football coach. Better than that, he's a good guy. And better than that, he's one of us.
Yes.
And he'll get it back. It'll take a little while, but he'll get it back. We're going to be good eventually.
Yeah. By that statement that you said right there. Okay. When Coach David recruited all these players that, because the media every player that gets recruited here is the best, right? I mean, we read it all the time.
That's everywhere.
Yeah,
That's the way you say it everywhere.
Yeah, so then our season goes in another way. And I always, as a fan, I mean, I love these kids too, and they're good. I mean, they are good. You go watch them in practice, they are good. But is it that there's other kids are better, or it's the coaching? I mean, can you win with these kids?
It's never one thing. It's like every organization in the history of the world. You have to have somebody in charge, but it's a mutual effort. It's a mutual want to. You can never win if you don't have enough good players. But you can have enough good players and still not win if everything is not in coordination. And I'm not talking about just coaches. I mean, all the coaches have to be on the same page. If you don't have a great athletic director, you're in trouble. If you don't have a great president of the university, you're in trouble. If you don't have a great governor, you're in trouble. And no one realizes when we say team, it's not just coaches and players. If you don't have a great fan base, you're in trouble. All of it has to be in order. I mean, in a state like New Mexico, where there's not a big population, the governor's important. The university president is really important. The athletic director is really important. The fan base is really important. And then the coaches, what they have to do is go recruit good people, number one, and good athletes, number two. And then the coaches have to be on the same page and give those players a chance to win on the football field. In other words, give them an offense and defense that fits their abilities and has a chance to compete against the other guys. But anybody that thinks it's just coaches and players has no idea how a successful program is run. A great fan base helps you win, and it helps you win before you win. You cannot have a lousy fan base and expect to get better and win. You have to have a great fan base before you can get better and win. And you have to have great support from your athletic director, great support from your university president. And in this state, in a small populated state, you have to have great support from your governor. And now, since I was the head coach here for a while, that is all possible, and that all can be done, and you can win here. And they've got the best guy to be the head coach that can get that stuff done.
So we feel that because we did have all that when you were here. Now that you said that, I mean, we lost that fan base. We really did. They're still fans, but they were not going to the game. So I believe in having you back and Danny back and, Coach Lenz. And then I think we have a good governor that's supporting you, Eddie Nunes, AD. I mean, I think that's formula is there, I believe, that what you just mentioned.
I think it's there, too.
So we, give us a year or two, and we could probably, compete. Because we're in the toughest conference. I mean, we got some good teams out there that play in our division.
Well, in the Western Athletic Conference back in the day, we had the Utahs and the BYUs. Now in the conference we're in now, the Mountain West Conference, it's two divisions.
Yeah.
And I was on the other division at San Diego State. We were on the other side. But the Mountain Division is from top to bottom tougher than the Pacific Division.
That's right.
So it's a tough goal, but Coach Gonzalez is the right guy, and I agree with you. I think from governor to university president to athletic director, I think that's all in place. Yeah. Now it's up to us coaches to continue to recruit talented players and then put them in a scheme that they have a chance to win. But it doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
I mean, we're gonna fight like crazy this year, but nobody knows what's going to happen. Yeah. Next year we'll be a little bit better. The third year we'll be competing like crazy, and I predict the fourth year we're going to be one of the best teams in the league.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling people, like, you saw the formula, what he said, right? Okay, so our part is a fan base. So I'm telling everybody out there, let's get your season tickets. Let's support the New Mexico Lobo football team. Let's get going, and with the right formula, we could be happy and enjoy our weekends. And there is a lot of people that are wanting to buy tickets already. I've talked to so many people. They're ready. Just this pandemic right now is put their thing on hold, man. We're like, we don't know what to do. It's like it's sad. It hit home to me yesterday, Coach. It did. We still protect ourselves. We got to go out there. We know it's there. And a good friend of mine died yesterday of COVID-19. It's like it was a shock, and he's always took care of himself. He's healthy, so it can touch any one of us. So with that said, everybody out there, this is real. This is real. So be safe. So, what's your expectation of this year? Can you give a little bit of what this year we can try to?
Well, our expectation as coaches is to put our players in both offensive and defensive schemes that fit the athletes that we have in the program now. So what we do on offense and defense will hopefully take into account their abilities and accentuate their abilities, which gives us a chance to compete every week. And number one, we want great effort. And if we give them the right schemes and we have great effort, we stay in football games. And if you stay in football games, you have a chance to win
at the end. Yeah.
The talent level is okay, but it's we're going to play a lot of teams that have more athletic talent than we do. So now it has to be want to and effort. And as long as the players react the right way and we get the want to and effort, we'll be in every game and have a chance to win. How many we win, I have no idea. Right. We're in the process of building the foundation of a successful program where you win year after year after year and you go to bowl games year after year after year. Well, that's baby steps right now.
Yeah,
that's going to be baby steps. And then when we get there, the trick will be to keep Coach Gonzalez around so that it can continue like that for many, many years.
Many moons, yeah. You're the defensive coordinator?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So are you going to, with the players that you have, could you use that same scheme that you always, that you know? I mean, are you?
Well, first of all, the scheme is pretty unique, but it has changed over the years because the offenses have changed. I mean, back in the day when we first started this scheme, everybody was in two backs and had a tight end and a full back, and they were running the ball. Well, now most people we play are throwing it. They're spreading you out from sideline to sideline, and you're throwing it around a bunch. So we've adjusted that scheme to fit the offenses that we're seeing. Now, the trick of this whole thing is we do some things that are unusual that most people don't, that are copying it now. In fact, this is kind of a pride factor with me. Coach Gonzalez was with me forever, and he took that scheme to Arizona State. And Arizona State got a lot better quick running this scheme. And then he got to be a head coach. Well, Zach Arnett, who's from Albuquerque and played for us at UNM, worked for us at San Diego State. And now, because he knows the scheme, he's the defensive coordinator at Mississippi State. Okay? And Tony White, who worked for us here for a while at UNM and then worked for us at San Diego State, and went with Danny to Arizona State and knows this scheme, is now the defensive coordinator at Syracuse. So the scheme, that's a compliment that the scheme is being copied by other people or wanting coaches that know the scheme to run the scheme at their place. Well, that's all good and fine, right? But we started the scheme, which means we know it better than anybody else, and we will adjust the scheme to the players we have. And then as we increase our talent level, the scheme will change as we go along too. And as people do different things on offense, the scheme will change as we go on. When we were here before, the scheme was to blitz everybody all the time. Okay? And at that time, that was very, very successful. Now that they've spread receivers from sideline to sideline and can get the ball away so quickly, you have to choose the times to blitz them because they can get even if you have a guy come free on a blitz, they can get rid of the ball before the guy gets there. Now, the other thing is rules are changing, right? You hit a quarterback now, it's a penalty. Anytime you hit a quarterback, it's a penalty. I mean, you even shove them to the ground. If it's a little late, it's a penalty. Right. You can't hit them above the shoulder pads. You can't hit them below the waist. I mean, gee whiz, put flags on the dang quarterback, and instead of, they're trying to make a quarterback. They're trying to protect him. Right? Yeah, they're trying to protect him, but they're making him a different player than everybody else out there, which really disappoints me. But you have to play by the rules, so. We have to do different things in coverages than we used to. And you have to pick and disguise blitzes that you did not used to have to. That's just the simple part of it. But we adjust the scheme as we go to take advantage of the offenses we play against.
Yeah, how exciting! I can see your enthusiasm already. You're like ready to start over again, and so I see that. That's good. Yeah. Did you think you're gonna miss being head coach, or it's time? It was a time.
No, I'm not gonna miss it at all.
At all, huh?
I mean, everybody, as you get older, you change your attitude about things, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed that I'm here.
Yes,
and I'm blessed that I get to work for Danny.
Yeah.
And there's only one issue with working for Coach Gonzalez. You know what it is?
I do not know.
He's been a defensive coordinator for quite a while.
We did oversee.
And when you're an assistant coach, you would rather be the coordinator. I'd rather be the coordinator if the head coach worked with the offense.
I got you.
And then Danny's he's really good at what he does, and he's really smart, and he understands the scheme as well as I do. So I just assume the head coach didn't know our scheme as well as he does. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So he'll let you do your thing, though, so he can focus on the other. Who's the offensive coordinator?
Well, it's Derek Wareheim.
Yeah,
now, and I don't know him personally,
okay.
but he coached here before. And Coach Gonzalez and him know each other really well, and Coach G has great confidence in him. And when he was here before, the offense was very, very successful here. So he knows you and them.
Who was he under? What coach was he under? I can't remember that name.
I think he was under Coach Davey. Now, I'm
not
not sure. I'm not sure, but I think
Yeah.
he was under Coach Davey.
Okay.
Yeah. So he knows New Mexico, and he knows UNM, and he's a great guy, and he's we only got to go through 8 practices in the spring.
Yeah.
It looks to me like he really knows what he's doing with the offense. And so I think he was a great hire. And Coach D's going to hire the right guys. He's going to hire the right guys.
And we had some good quarterbacks last year. We really did. I mean, the quarterbacks are good. Just a matter of
they got beat up a little bit, though, didn't they?
Too much.
Yeah, they got beat up
every year. Every
Mm-hmm.
year, man. It was every year. You feel bad for them too, because they were getting killed. They were hurt all the time.
Yeah, it bothers me when our quarterbacks get hurt. It doesn't bother me when the other team's quarterbacks get hurt.
Yeah, so that's good. Where do you guys go this year? What 2 big teams out of Southern Cal this year or not?
Yeah,
it is Southern Cal.
Well, we play Idaho State here, and then we go to Mississippi State, and then we go to USC.
That's your guy.
Yeah, that's Zach Arnett's at Mississippi State.
You go to Mississippi State?
Yeah,
my God.
So their offense already knows our defense, right? Because they've seen it already. So Mississippi State's offense has an advantage because they've been playing against that defense. Well, our offense ought to have an advantage because they've been playing against that defense too. So it ought to be ought to be a 60 to 59 game, right?
Be an upset in favor of the Lobos.
I hope so.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Have you heard anything about the season? Is it going to come to? I mean, the first game is still scheduled for.
Everything that we hear is very, very positive that the season's going to go off as scheduled. Now they've put in some different things. I mean, like the players are going to be tested a couple days before the game and all that kind of stuff. So there's a couple different things we're going to have to practice a little. Well, maybe not practice different. We're going to have to work out different. It's going to be small groups that work out at one time in the weight room, small groups that do things together. We have to be social distancing in our meetings. We have to make sure everybody in the meetings so far apart. We wear a mask in the offices and so far, all those things. So all those things are in place. But everything we hear is that we're going to start practice at the same time. We get the same number of practices, and we're going to play the same schedule.
Yeah, well, there's a joke around town saying that us, the Lobo fans, we don't have to worry about 25% because that's all was showing up anyway. So we're good to start the season.
well, let's
building on that, right?
Let's hope that's not true.
Yeah.
Let's hope that's not
toward the end of the, oh my God, man, it was so empty, Coach. It was crazy. It was so crazy. I'd go to almost every game. I think I didn't miss a game till the last game of the season. And I heard there was only 8,000 people there, And the reason that I didn't go to that game because I was invited to go see the state championship game at the same time. That has to change. That has to change.
People in charge have to work that out.
They gotta have a master schedule or something. They gotta do something, because like you said, there ain't that many people here, population, and everybody has their, You know, so if you get everybody coming in together, that'd be great. Yeah. So.
It's a small populated state, but it's the right kind of people.
The best
great
people,
great
man.
people.
I'm
yeah,
telling
great
you,
people.
I'm telling you, they are. You know, I'm born and raised here myself, been here all my life, and you know, and you're native now. You know, so I've seen you since a kid, right? So, yeah. The first game is on August 29th.
It's the last
Right.
the Saturday, last Saturday in August.
And,
I'm not sure what date that is.
And I believe I'm going to celebrate my birthday on that day with a victory. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be good.
How old are you gonna be?
I'm going to be 66, dude.
God, you're a youngster.
I'm a youngster,
You
man.
are a
And
youngster.
I feel young. I feel young.
Yeah, maybe we ought to worry about that gray hair if you want to look young, you know.
I diet this color.
Oh, did you? Okay.
They say gray was in. So. Yeah, no. On the 29th, I was telling my wife we're gonna be at the game. We're gonna party on the maybe the Enzo Club. We'll go up there and get ready for the first
Good
game.
deal. Yeah, great.
Yeah, we're excited. Are you excited? Are you excited for the new venture in the next few years?
Oh, yeah.
And you live in Albuquerque or you live in Placitas? I remember you lived in Placitas.
Well, I used to live in Placitas, but
Yeah.
now I live in Corrales.
You're in Corrales. That's right. You
Yeah,
said Corrales.
yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful place too.
No,
You know,
it's nice to be back. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's exciting to be part of a new program, and know you know how much work's ahead, and you know how frustrating it's going to be at times. But when we get to the point that we're going to get to, you have a great sense of accomplishment. It's really fun.
And you can build the fan base as time goes on. Too,
Yeah, I
like
think the
anything
fan
else,
base
you know,
will
like, yeah.
grow with the team. As
Yeah.
the team grows, the fan base will
Yeah,
grow too. Yeah.
And a lot of people already that hadn't gone. They said, they're coming. They're coming. So I expect a good crowd that first
Well,
game.
I hope they understand the situation. They're a little patient. I hope they're a little patient.
Well, that comes from you guys telling us to be patient. You know, they got to understand that, and they do. They're smart. They're smart people. You know, they know the sports. You know, so that's why they left. They got so frustrated with first Loxley and then with Davey. I mean, they just got to the point where it was not fun. It was not fun.
Right.
But I always felt like they had chip in their shoulders. Honestly, I always felt the coaches had a chip in their shoulder. Because they were struggling or but they weren't like going with the flow and just I don't know. It was so different, Coach. It was so different. And I stayed with the first teamers, and I got into it a couple of times with Coach Davey, and I'm a fan. He started yelling at me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's too bad.
yeah, like at our first team, we were up in Scottsdale, and he was talking about how good they're going to do this year. You know the coach, promote, we're going to do good this year. We're going to do this good, and we feel good. Then the other coaches are talking, we're going to do good. We're and me, and I'm like, you know what, Coach, my coach, I always just want to tell you that, this year, I really feel like you really mean what you're saying because it's not just lip service. Ooh, he blew a woofer. Lip service. I go, no, Coach, you're taking it wrong. You're taking it wrong. I'm saying you feel the passion this year. You kind of feel it. And sure enough, they went to the bowl game that year.
Yeah.
That's the year they went to a bowl game. And but he got instead of going with the flow again, no, he's like, hey, dude, relax.
He was ready. He was ready for the year.
Oh, yeah. They were
ready.
getting ready.
Yeah, he was ready.
Yeah.
But that's ancient history.
Yeah, I take the history.
Yeah,
and I like Coach Day, I like great man. He was a good man. It's just I don't know what happened, I guess he can recruit those athletes that he's supposed to, recruit to be good against the Colorado States, the Wyomings, because we were losing, we beat Wyoming that one year. I don't know if you remember that season where we threw how many yards we ran through running all the.
Well, I remember because I told you I keep track. Yeah. I remember when the Lobos went to Boise and beat Boise at Boise. That's a great victory.
That was a great victory, huh?
I mean, Boise's really good. They're hard to beat anyway, and to beat them up there is really special.
So
that's really good.
So
yeah,
that was a good day for New Mexico.
I keep track.
Yeah.
I might even got to watch that one on TV or something. I don't remember because if we weren't playing, I always and they were, the Lobos were playing. I always got it on TV. So that was fun. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think that you were going to? Ever come back to New Mexico? Ever thought that you might ever come back?
Well, I might have come back even without a coaching job.
No, but to coach.
No. Well,
That's probably not,
No, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, everything's
But
out
there
in
was
Texas.
always a chance we were going to retire and come back here anyway. Yeah.
I remember seeing you one day at you and a group of your friends at that Tamaya. You guys were having a little meeting or something. Remember that? You guys
Those are all my. Every time I came to town, those are all my ex-teammates that still live still in Albuquerque. So, yeah, we get together. We just got together last Saturday.
Did you?
Yeah. Some of the old guys, that we still lie about how good we were because, I mean, we were okay. We were pretty good, but
you're pretty good.
But if you just listen to us, we were really good. really,
you guys
really
beat
good.
Alabama that year.
Oh yeah, if we'd have played them, they were in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So, we're like I say, we're excited for Lobo football to start. I want to tell all the fans out there, you know what? Get your season tickets. I understand that they got to get them online now. There's no more going to the ticket window.
That's what I understand too. Yeah.
So just log on to loboclub.com or Lobo Football and order your tickets online. They'll send them to you. Yeah. So the time is now. So anything else, Coach, that you think you have in your mind that you want to share with your fans out there? Because you have a ton of fans, man.
Well, I'm glad everybody welcomed me back, and it's good to be back here again. It's good to be home. My wife and I are excited about starting the last part of our journey. Last part of our journey, and I'm excited about the season too. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but you got the right head coach. Coach Gonzalez will get this program where everybody's proud of it and excited about it, and then we'll move on from there. Right on.
Yeah. There's a couple of people here. Okay, it says Eric Brock. He says, "Welcome back, Coach. She loves you." So, yeah, we got a few people that are watching. Let me see if maybe that's any questions. J.R. Willis. Remember J.R. Willis? J.R.
Yeah.
Him and his wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes a good show, but he travels with you guys too. He's a traveler. So, okay. Here he got his tickets too. Yeah. So
that's good news.
Yeah, it's good news. Everybody that's listening, time to buy your tickets. Let's get going here. Yeah. So, no, it's good. Carl, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about the pandemic that's going on there. What do you feel?
Well, I don't want to get into any political discussions because I have to do that with my mother all the time on this stuff. But it's awful. I mean, it's weird.
It's weird.
I mean, it's really weird. And I don't know what's going to happen. Just like I think we're going to play football, but it's not 100% sure we're going to play football. Right. I think it's everything I hear is positive. Yeah. Our players are positive. They can't wait to come back and start working out. Our coaches are positive. We can't wait to get them back so we can start meeting with them and working with them and all that. The people that I know in the coaching business, everybody's positive about the season starting and all that. And then you go home and listen to the news, and then all of a sudden you're not sure that's true.
Sure.
Yeah, you're not sure. Yeah. So it's a very uncertain time.
And when's the official starting time for you guys? When do you got to go? When do you go back, or attendance for you right now?
Well, supposedly on July the 7th, our players can be back in town, or we can start working with them. They're back in town now. They're going to get tested. They're going to get physicals, but they're putting the quarantine time before they can come to us, where they lift weights. They condition, and we meet with them. So, but we're supposed to be able to meet with them, and they can supposedly work out as groups, as small groups, starting July the 7th.
How do you planning? Because you got all defense, so you keep your cornerbacks together. Everybody's going to be there.
Yeah, because you can't meet with the team, and you can't meet with large groups. So the groups will be small groups. So you have to meet with them throughout the day. You can't meet with them all at once. They're going to lift weights in small groups. They're going to condition in small groups, and we're going to do that for 2 weeks. And then hopefully after those 2 weeks, we can meet with them longer and meet with them in bigger groups and actually start doing some things where it's 11 guys, instead of 5 or 6 guys. And so it's going to be a slow process. And then about the 1st of August is the schedule to actually start practicing.
That kind of levels the playing field across the.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to tell you who has the best chance to win this year. Obviously you can throw out some names because they have the most talented teams, But the real teams that have the best chance to win this year are the veteran teams. They have the same coaching staff. The players have been in the same system for 4 and 5 and 6 years, and then they have a good group of seniors. So the ones that are at the disadvantage are the ones that are learning a new scheme and have a new coach. Those are the ones that are at the disadvantage. Because if you have a veteran team and the same coaching staff, they don't need to practice as much. They already know what to do. They don't, so they have some real advantages.
Can players work on their own without the coaches? Can they, like 6 players get together, let's all work together? And
They can work on their own, but they can't do it at our place.
Right, okay.
So they got to do it someplace else, in their backyard, at the park. Go to one of the workout areas. They can work out on their own, sure. And we actually send them workouts that we would like them to follow. Okay. Now, we can't monitor them, and we can't be there.
You'll know when they come if they did it or
not. There you go. Yeah. The first time we actually get to work with them, we'll know if they worked out. That's exactly right.
Who was eating the potato chips and who was working.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting. When you do start getting the 11, that's when the work starts to get that team together for the.
Well, that's when it's really football. That's when it's really football. Yeah.
So it's exciting, and it's different, but it's exciting. I think the players are going to be happy. I think this kind of opened up the world. It's not just playing football anymore. It's like, hey, let's enjoy. It's an advantage that we have to play because right now they took it away from them.
I think they'll really be happy to get back and started doing that stuff. Yeah. It's part of their lives, Yeah. It's just like you and me. There's a lot of things that we're used to doing that we're not doing now. Yeah.
I'm not used to doing yard work. I am now. I'm like, okay.
That's because you're at home and got bored,
That's
right?
my point. I like to hire people. Yeah. How many players do you have coming back from last year?
Well, I'm trying to think how many new players there are. There's close to, I think there's 68, close to 70 coming back. And then the new group of freshmen and all that, we will have 110 when we start actual practices. There'll be 110 guys.
Wow, exciting.
That's fun. That's exciting.
Yeah,
exciting to think about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to go watch some of the practices, if they open them up, so it should be good.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get to watch practice, but you'll have to be a safe distance away.
You know what I'll do? I'll be wearing my mask.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That keeps me from, because I couldn't wear that other mask because they tell me that I must breathe with my mouth a lot, that my mouth gets all wet, so I'm walking around with a big old wet spot. So I like that one.
So you got that one? Huh?
I like that one better. So people look at it like I'm not wearing something. Oh, he is wearing something. So, and that's one thing that we emphasize too. This is real. Wear your mask, when you're out there in public,
Sure. Yeah.
So I see a lot of people wearing the mask in their own car by themselves. I'm like, who are they afraid of in the car? But
maybe some people like wearing the mask.
I guess.
I think some people do. Yeah. Some people are making it a fashion statement.
Yeah, those rioters, all those people were rioting wearing the mask. And like before, if they wore a mask, they were not the good guys. Now they're like,
well, that's an effort to keep their identity hidden, right?
Yeah, and the COVID, and protecting themselves. So
I see some kind of neat looking masks out there. I mean, it's getting to be a real fashion deal.
Yeah. I saw right away where the NFL licensed a ton of them. So everybody's wearing their. And I haven't seen any UNM ones. I'm sure they're there, but I haven't.
Oh, there are some out there. In fact, I have one in the car.
A UNM?
Oh, yeah. They're out there.
Yeah.
You can find them.
I guess. I guess I'm not looking, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to wear it anyway, so that's what it is. I guess I got this one. Yeah. So, Coach, you know what? It was good talking to you.
Yeah,
great. Really, it was great. You know what? I know we can go
visiting.
on and on, but it's a good start.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again. I'm sure, I'd like to get you back on and get Danny here. Maybe get both of you guys at the same time. But I'm happy to see that you and Danny are still like that, So, because I remember that he did a good job when he was with you, too.
Yeah,
He
he's a great coach.
Yeah, great coach.
Good guy and great coach. Yep.
And like you say, he's from here. He's a Valley guy.
Oh, he was the perfect pick.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I had him on the show too, and he mentioned the fact when he called you, he said he called you and get your advice. He said, "Hey, they offer it, you take it. If they offer it, you take it, because that's a good program, So, and they offered it to him. So
well, this program needs a special kind of guy, and that's who he is. So. Yeah. Not everybody can get it done here, but he can.
He could, yeah. And what like he knows the culture. He knows Albuquerque. He knows how to recruit the kids here. Mm-hmm. He knows how to sell Albuquerque. Yeah, Some kids don't know what Albuquerque's all about. They'll come and they go, okay, like you didn't know, but you came and you stayed.
There you go.
You stayed.
There you go.
So, well, Coach, I'll let you go. I mean, I think we're
all
good.
Right, JC. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
You guys remember the football first game, August 29th, and buy your tickets. Let's give them a good homecoming, a good, warm. Welcome him home. Let's fill the stadium. Let's get 40,000 people in there. Why not?
That'd be nice.
Why not?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah.
I mean, it can happen. Let's get if the government lets us, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So whatever the percentage is, let's hit that percentage. So again, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, Jason.
Everybody,
thanks.
Go Lobos and peace out. Be safe.